two, I want to introduce Alan Buckelew. We're very fortunate to have him with us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Ned. I'd like to add my greetings to those of Professor Alpers. First of all, to the class of 2009, and then their parents and their family, and also to Professor Alpers and the Department of History. Let me begin by offering my congratulations to all of you. You've had a long path, as Professor Alpers has suggested, and today is the culmination of that. As a fellow history graduate, I would like to speak today a little bit about the value of your degree and how my experiences at UCLA, and in particular the study of history, helped shape my life and career. Now, 36 years ago, which is an eternity for you, I sat where you are today. And I had no idea where my life would lead. And I can honestly say that I never thought once that I would be back at UCLA speaking at commencement. So you can understand that I'm extremely proud to be here this morning and humbled by this unique opportunity. And I have great sympathy for your plight as you enter the workforce. During probably the worst recession since World War II, I had the great honor of graduating in 1973 during the beginning of the second worst recession since the World War II. So I know what you're going through because I've been there and I've done it. I know many of you are probably very concerned about the job market, and as history majors you may be asking yourself, having a kind of a V8 moment, did I choose the right major? I could have been an accountant. Well, I think you did choose the right major. Now, if you think about it, all of you are going to be entering the workforce in the 21st century. And you should plan to change your careers, not just jobs, but your careers once or more during your working years. Which means you should plan or anticipate that you will start over in an entirely new field at least once in your career. Now, that's a scary thought. But as a liberal arts graduate, you are better prepared than you may think. And in particular, with a history major, you're very well prepared. Because your training has taught you something that most majors don't, and that's the long view of life, the path of history. I myself like to hire liberal arts graduates. Every one of my direct reports has a liberal arts background. And my senior team is made up of people with history, political science, English, music, and sociology as their principal majors. Because I believe a liberal arts education is an effective way to prepare oneself with a broad enough background to enter almost any field. And that's what employers seek. They want people who can communicate effectively, can function at a high level, whether they're working alone, which many of you have had to do, or work as a team player, which is also part of the seminar process, and who can analyze and solve problems effectively. These and many other skills are really the foundation of a liberal arts background or education. And as history majors, you have analytical skills and a world view that is very well developed. But unfortunately, the world is not organized around college majors. There is a role for specialization in our world. As an example, I would not like my doctor to be a history major. I want him to have been to medical school. My dentist as well. And the captains of our ships at Princess all went to merchant marine schools, and the engineers that keep them running are all graduates of engineering schools. And I augmented my history degree with an MBA from Anderson. But that said, many jobs don't require that kind of specialization. And I'm not alone in my belief that one of the main benefits of a liberal arts education is that it teaches you not only how to think, but more importantly, how to learn. While studying many different areas, whether they were of great interest to you or not, and I remember my undergraduate days, and there's a lot of GE requirements that I didn't find as interesting as others, but nonetheless, they teach you to think critically in an ordered fashion and to derive accurate conclusions. This is extremely valuable in the workplace, no matter what kind of work you do, where you're often tasked to troubleshoot or to figure out complexities in a unique and unstructured situation. A liberal arts background gives you the knowledge base and the confidence in your analytical skills to successfully handle these challenging situations. Unstructured problems are difficult to deal with. But as I noted earlier, the most important thing is that you've learned how to learn, because we never stop learning. And I believe a history degree gives you a perspective that most college majors do not. Your sweeping view of history is a very translatable skill in the workforce. It'll help you make better decisions. In the future, most of your knowledge will be gained through actual experience. But the most important thing to an employer is that you're capable of learning and retaining that new information so that not only can you be successful, but that you can be innovative. An example, you've probably taken courses in computer programming or mathematics or music or philosophy or poetry or all of these, and they have all irresistibly demonstrated the structure of thought and knowledge and have aided you in your intellectual development and created within you the habit of organized thinking and rational analysis. After your classes in programming or music, you may never write another line of code or song, but you take with you a knowledge that of that discipline that you can put to use in any future endeavor. And in my estimation, and my personal experience, knowledge of many subject areas provides a cross-fertilization of ideas, a fullness of mind that produces new ideas and better understanding. You know those sudden realizations you have at 2 in the morning, or as I like to call strokes of genius, those solutions that seemingly come out of nowhere, they're almost always a product of the mind working unconsciously on a problem, using materials that you've stored up through years of experience, knowledge, and long study. And therefore, the greater that storehouse, the wider its range, the more creative you can be. Hence the powers of a liberal arts degree. And the study of history provides a unique perspective that instills the power of the long view. Today, everywhere we look, we see the impact of the short and the myopic worldview. You, more than any other students, appreciate how the short view, the quick fix, is rarely the best path. In the workforce, you will be surrounded by colleagues who are fixated on this month, this quarter, which in and of itself isn't wrong, but it rarely results in long-term growth. Your long-term view, your long view, is a very needed and necessary balance. I find that my history training helps me all the time. I'm much more focused on systematic issues rather than the superficial. I'm better equipped to determine causality rather than coincidence. And I'm better focused on understanding the past to create a better future. As an example, most of you were probably in middle school on September 11th, 2001. Like most Americans, I was stunned by the tragedy of the World Trade Center. Like most Americans, I wanted to know why. Why would someone try to kill so many innocent people? Why were we hated with such fury? Why would someone give up their life to do this? Unlike most Americans, I didn't rely on my local newspaper or CNN or Fox News to find these answers, because I'd been trained to learn at UCLA. I knew that a research paper with 2 sources, one a newspaper and the other a TV show, would result in an instant F, because that's not research. That's not knowledge. So I began to read and to study and to learn. And I have to share with you, I was not comforted by what I learned, but I now think I know the answers to those whys. Now, you have the same training as I, the same analytical discipline, and I'm confident you will use your skills like I do throughout my life. So I believe the benefits of a liberal arts education and a history degree are undeniable, because they create in you intelligent team players that are global thinkers, which is unique to the history discipline. Indeed, I believe you will become lifelong learners who are inquisitive, analytical, and creative, with excellent communication, interpersonal, and ultimately leadership skills. You are prepared for a lifetime of new and exciting opportunities, and when one door closes, and trust me, they will, you have ensured through your education that another will open. You have gained the knowledge that is necessary to be successful in almost any field you choose. And because you have been taught how to learn, when you're faced with major challenges or a career change, you should have the necessary confidence